Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Gugu and I'm here with the love of my life,
Kearabilwe,
and we are
your favorite queer couple.
So today we are doing a video talking about an important conversation, and it is sort of a difficult conversation to have, but we feel like it's an important conversation to have because we've had this conversation between ourselves and we've been thinking about this for a long time. So we just felt like this is something we should just discuss on the channel and have you guys also contribute to the conversation, say how you feel, say what your guys' thoughts are as well. So today we're talking about the channel called Defining. It is a channel on YouTube, and it is a channel that has over 119,000 subscribers, and it's mostly about love. Most of the videos are mainly about a romantic love. They've started now branching out into friendship love, platonic love, and the channel also has other types of videos like mental health videos, or like featuring celebrities where they just come on and they talk, or just like group videos where they discuss, like, I don't know, love, friendship, anything really. It's just like, it's like when we're reading about the channel, it's about just like storytelling and like telling the youth of South Africa stories, and it's just that's what the channel is mainly about. And it's a channel that we used to watch and we used to love, and then gradually we just stopped watching. Drifted away slowly, and we stopped watching, and we'll discuss why in this video.
And I think just to add, according to my understanding, the channel is mostly run and curated and stuff by Dennis what's his name?
Mgago. I don't know, I'm not sure.
And then with the people that he works with.
So it's like the Defining team.
And I think most of them are kind of like they met at UP from the early videos of theirs that I used to watch. It's as if they met at UP or around the Pretoria area. And I think the main purpose of me pointing out who are the curators and the content creators behind this channel is just that these are black and brown kids, mostly black kids, who are our peers. So within their mid-20s.
So they're also South African youth, telling the stories of South African youth.
Also within the 20s, they are also within their 20s as well. So
definitely
if I'm not mistaken,
peers.
Dennis is my age, but so they are peers.
Okay.
Cool. So
let's start. So I'm gonna start with the fact that we used to watch the channel a lot. So because it boomed because it was like a channel that showed love content, so romantic love content, and that's when I started watching it. That's what I knew it for. And I used to also watch the other videos, but mostly I went there for love content, and we both love content, and that's what we started watching. So the channel brings couples to the studio, and then they interview the couples, and the couples talk about these are romantic relationships. So the couples come and they talk about how they met, and then they write letters to each other saying, like,
expressing
their love for each other, saying maybe the things they love about each other. So it's just a whole wholesome videos where it really celebrates the love of, and it's usually
black couples.
I've seen some interracial couples on there, but it celebrates like young black couples and sometimes young interracial couples. And so it's just wholesome content where it's just celebrating love, mostly romantic love. Now they've branched into friendship,
but we are going to focus on the romantic
love. Okay, so we started noticing a trend that mostly it's been marketed as a romantic love platform, right? But most of those couples that were being invited to be interviewed were heterosexual couples. We started noticing this and we're like,
Yeah, and thing is, this channel, when you go and you read on the about section, they started roughly like 2019. So 2019, so and then 2020, and then 2021.
Yeah.
So when we started noticing this, I remember I brought it up to you and being like, yo, okay, I've been watching a lot of these couples, but I am not seeing queer people. I'm not seeing lesbian couple. Obviously, I'm not seeing myself. You know what I mean?
Being lesbian couples, no gay couples,
you
no non-binary people,
yes.
trans people,
nothing, right? And then for me, it's like, also that's why I was saying it's mostly black love, that they moved even within this umbrella. They moved from black love to interracial couples without showing all of the types of black loves that is also possible.
Yeah. So they did. Yeah. Oksalayo, there were no queer couples that we were seeing, and then this one time we saw a queer couple, so it was a lesbian couple, and it was for Pride Month.
Yes.
And that was the first time I saw a video. I think it's their first queer couple video, but I'm gonna say disclaimer for me. I might be wrong, but that's what when we checked now it was the first one. And then cool. So my issue with that was that also I don't feel like we should only be represented or showcased when it is Pride Month.
Yeah.
Obviously, when it's Pride Month, it should be more saturated. You should see visually more queer representation than normal. But the normal shouldn't be 0.
Yes.
So it can't be that on any other month it's 0, and then Pride Month, let's give them 10. Or 1 in the case of that. Exactly.
Yeah.
So then when I saw that, I was like, okay, I appreciate that you're trying and you are progressive, but it's only, why is it only on Pride Month? And then I thought, okay, fine, if that's okay, so maybe after this Pride Month, after this video and the great reception that maybe this video gets, they're gonna start interviewing more queer couples and bringing on more queer couples.
So basically we thought that was a start. So even
a springboard.
So because before that we already saw this trend, and then this couple came and we were like, okay, maybe let's give them the leeway.
We were hopeful.
We were very hopeful.
Yeah.
Right? And I think just to point out that when this happens to us as queer kids, we're always excited. Right? You're always happy, like,
you get overly excited because you never see representation. So when you do, you get overly excited. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And also you get overly like grateful, which is not fair. Like
it's not.
Like giving queer representation, you're just being a decent platform. You're not like we shouldn't be grateful. We shouldn't be begging to be represented.
And I think already with this Pride month and one video, for me there was a massive red flag with the channel, right? And I think just for us to voice it up and to make people who aren't queer understand, I would like to bring forth Black History Month. Black History Month, we would all be very unhappy if that was the only time where we show black actors and black actresses on our TV, and the rest of the year we only saw white people. So that's how it felt for me. Personally, when that was how things were handled at that point in time. But I stepped back because I was like, hey man, I don't know, it's 2019, the channel is young, let it grow.
Let's see exactly. So at that stage we were still hopeful, and then things carried on, still heterosexual couples. Now it's even like celebrities, influencers, like different personalities, which was amazing. And great content,
very happy for
but
them.
Still lack of representation for queer people. Cool. And then what I think affirmed our feelings and cemented them was when we saw that they are branching out to platonic relationships. So they started doing defining friendship. So they would bring on maybe like 2 women that are friends, and then they'll show their sisterhood, their friendship. Amazing, beautiful content, stuff. Love it. But still, what affirmed it was the fact that it's like, you've done all this romantic love and you are so satisfied. You've done a great job. And you have completed this journey. You are moving on to the friendship journey. But it's like, hello, you left out a whole bunch of types of romantic love. You left out queer love, a big part of love. Like, what I want to stress is that heterosexual people do not own the umbrella term romantic love. No, you don't. You can't really say this platform is about love and then you just do heterosexual love. Maybe then call your platform literally heterosexual love blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot, because that's erasure, and that's very dangerous. And it's just like, why? Because I think as queer people, we've come to understand, like, there's lots of channels that erase us. There's Love Island, where it's always heterosexual couples. Then you have The Bachelor. It's always obviously Bachelorette, same thing, right? But these are big production companies,
which is media houses, money, big people. Also, these people might not be our age, older from people. The older generation,
and those production houses are heavily influenced by heteronormative ideas. Of course they are. They're heavily influenced by colorism. They're heavily influenced by racism. You know what I mean? So from those, you don't, to be realistic, you don't expect a lot. As a queer black woman, you don't expect a lot. But from our peers, from a channel, YouTube is a place where we can curate the content and we can produce what we want to produce. So when even there we're not represented, it's just a blow. It's just, it hurts. And another point is that they're moving on, when they moved on to the next segment, which was defining friendship, which is a lovely segment. They started showing two women, but like obviously platonic relationships, friendships. For example, Mihlali came on with her friend. So there's lots of examples. But my issue with that also was that it was perpetuating the idea of, when you see two women, you're seeing platonic friendship. You are never seeing a romantic couple. That's the only time, because honestly, I don't want to lie, when I first saw, I don't know what couple what two friends I saw. I think it was two men. But it was still defining friendship. But I saw the advert or the thumbnail, and I was like, oh my god, there's a gay couple. And then I went and I saw defining friendship. I was like, okay, it's just, they're just friends. And again, that perpetuates that thing of like, when two people are the same gender or same sex, then it's like, no, it can never be a romantic relationship. It is friendship, and that it's perpetuating that queer couples are not valid. That's not a real couple.
And also, it diminishes our love. I think that's, for me, one thing that hurts me the most. When people don't recognize the love that Gugu and I share and have been sharing for 5 years, when they don't take it seriously. Like, it does perpetuate that. It's like lots of, when we did first start dating, lots of places we'll go, people would think we're friends. Even people would take pictures of us. A lot of times they're like, oh my god, you guys are friends. And they'll take a picture and be like, ah. And then this, we even one of our Airbnb hosts was like to us, oh, are you guys gonna go out and find boyfriends? And it was like, oh, so we look like friends. Okay. That also perpetuated that idea, because when defining did start putting two women together, it was like, okay, they're friends. And once again, there's nothing wrong with putting two women together as friends. It's just putting them without having had that romantic and enough of that romantic what is it? Broadcasting,
like
showcasing,
showcasing that.
And I think when Gugu and I were discussing our points as to, I think what we're trying to get across is why we are unhappy with what we're seeing. We are not trying to listen. If that is the path that people want to take with their channel, by all means, no one can have anything to do with it. But as Gugu said, number one, if you're going to do it, then own it and stand up for it. You can't say defining love and then leave people out. That's not okay. Tell people, no, my show is honestly going to be focusing on heterosexual love. And I think,
and then don't get queer people excited for nothing.
Don't give us teasers here and there. Like, own it. You know what I mean? And another thing for me was, when it comes from our peers, that is scary. And what Gugu and I were talking about, like, it made it seem as if we have not come as far as we queer people thought we are. And that, I know people maybe don't understand it, but that is extremely scary. Like, I think that is, even not to equate it, but it is kind of like that with the shootings in like America. Like, there was a thing where black people were like, wow.
Not to equate it. It's not the same.
Because obviously but it's just like that's
there's
what it
always
feels
things
like.
that are a wake up call to show you that maybe like,
whoa, okay,
we've not come as far as we thought, or you start to feel delusional about the progress that we've made as a society, or as the young generation.
Because that's why I keep stressing that the curators behind this are our peers. young black youth are youth that went to a university within the same period that we went through, within your fees must falls, within it. So you have, met people and engaged with different people. You know what I mean? And for that now, for you to still go into this platform of YouTube where you have all this free reign
and a big platform, such a successful big platform,
like 119 thousand subscribers, where
that's
people come on, and the people that you attract, the celebrities that come in, it just shows you the viewership and the support. And even within that, not accepting your responsibility as a creator, for me to be like, I am going to tell the stories of the youth, but I'm not going to tell the queer stories,
because it says on the about the channel, storytelling of the black youth of South Africa. A big part of that is the queer black youth of South Africa. So I just feel like it's just no, man, it's not enough. I don't, and we've seen there has been another video of a lesbian couple. So from what we've seen, it's 2 out of 100 and something videos. I don't know how many of those are then heterosexual. The defining love that we're saying is the heterosexual couples, but 2 is not good enough. I just don't feel like 2 is enough.
And I think honestly it's just us saying, listen, in these spaces we have to hold each other accountable, because we live in one society, and like we have to hold each other accountable,
especially
and
your peers. You have to hold your peers accountable. And also I feel like, as we said, we really used to love this channel, we used to watch this channel. It has quality, great content, but we did stop watching it because it's very triggering, having to see yourself being excluded over and over and over and over again, and even by your peers. So we just gradually stopped watching. It just, and I just wanted to say, could you guys please comment down below if there are maybe examples of queer content that they have uploaded or posted that we missed,
apart from those 2,
because what we know is 2 lesbian we know 2 lesbian couples that have been interviewed on the channel, and that's all we know. So if you know more, please let us know, and let us know what your thoughts are. Like, have you noticed it too, or is it just us?
Are we being shady?
Are we reaching? Are we reaching? I don't think we are. But please tell us if you've also noticed it. Did you brush it off? Did you just say whatever? Or has it been something that's been bothering you too,
as well,
and you thought maybe you were the only one? I don't know.
Because my thing is how I feel like we're not the only ones. If you go down in the comments of the recent lesbian couple, you'll see people literally commenting, we want more, we want this, and they give them suggestions of who to get.
Yeah, that's true. That was going to be my other point, that I'm going to leave room for the fact that maybe the defining team has reached out to lots of queer couples, and the queer couples have said no. And all of them have said no, apart from those 2. I'm going to leave room for that. I think the chances are very unlikely. I think the chances are low, but I'm going to leave room for that, because I don't know. I'm not in their messages and their DMs seeing who they're reaching out to, who's saying yes, who's saying no. You know what I mean? But I just feel like that's highly unlikely. There are lots of queer couples that are maybe starting out their brands as a couple channel or whatever, or established channels. I know lots, and they would love that publicity, because defining is a big platform that does help your brand. So I doubt it, but I'm leaving room for that.
But I also feel like those who they have reached out to
and maybe said
no, I see where they're coming from though. Because I would kind of feel like,
the token queer.
Yes, the token queer, because is this really something that you care about?
Or is this what your channel's about?
Yes, you know what I mean? Because if you've had 50 videos plus, and then out of that 50, 1 has been about queer, maybe that's so
that's 2%.
So
then you feel like, okay, you just sprinkle us here and there. It's not really your thing. It's like we're an afterthought. Sometimes you're like, let me remember queer couples. We've done about 100 hetero. Let's add it. You know what I mean?
And honestly, like as queer people and people in queer relationships, and we are tired. Like, we're not an afterthought. We are in these spaces. We are present. And if you are not going to take us seriously, that's okay. That's, I'm like, guys,
you can't leave us out of the conversation of romantic love. That's just that one. If you're going to talk about romantic love, know that you are including all types of love.
Yeah.
You can't romantic love or love is not synonymous with heterosexual love, and that's what you guys have been doing for a long time. Not just defining, but as you guys as a society in general have been doing that for a long time, and that needs to stop. Even in your vocabulary, when you start talking about love, or you're talking to a woman and you're like, who's your boyfriend, things like that, it's like, no, heterosexual love is not the only thing that exists. It is not the only thing that is valid. So
but even like if you go on to Instagram and you go to pages that celebrate black love, it's just heterosexual people. It is just heterosexual black people.
That's true. I almost followed one of them, then I was like scrolling, then I was like, nope.
Where are the queer people? So it's just like, I think it's a fundamental thing that has to change. But I hold people who are on YouTube on a higher ground, because you control what you put on your platform.
YouTube has, like, the content on YouTube is so much more progressive than the content on TV, honey. I don't even watch TV anymore. I just watch YouTube, you know?
Definitely.
So
and then another thing that Gugu and I, while we were planning, thought about was, guys, maybe there aren't a lot of queer couples. Maybe we are reaching. And then we're like, no, but we lie.
No, we lie. If I sit down for 1 second, I can think of a lot.
I thought of a few. So here it goes.
Oh yeah, number they could invite.
Yes, they could. Tema and Lemon.
They have a YouTube channel, a very successful YouTube channel, over, if I'm right, over 20,000 subscribers.
Literally. Very fun. Like, they even do like MCing gigs now. They're very funny. They're within, and I truly believe that given the platform and given the opportunity, they would come on that show. Yeah, I believe so.
So that's a couple they could have invited.
Or
they could invite.
Yes, Yoliso and Megan.
Megan,
sorry. A lot of people have asked for them. I've seen them.
I'm asking for them. I want to say, I love that couple. I'm asking for them. You know what I mean?
Right?
They are in. I know Yoliswa is an influencer, fashion, lifestyle. You know, you know.
Even like for Valentine's Day, they did that Revlon thing. They beat all of the couples. All of.
That's a beautiful, creative couple that they could invite on.
Literally.
Another one. Do you have another one?
Mushendiki and his husband.
He's a celebrity.
Yes.
And I've seen celebrities on the channel. That's another option.
And then who else? But I don't know.
So if you just sit down and think, there are options. You know what I mean? Like,
and then also another thing that I told Gugu was, you know what? I also don't always know people, you know? I don't know people, but then there are certain things like the Rainbow Social, the people that plan the queer parties, particularly in Joburg. They have a whole Instagram page. If you are someone who's serious about the content creation and you work for Defining, you hit those people up. You're like, you know what, we're actually looking for a few queer couples. You guys are within that society,
the queer community.
Within the queer can you please just connect us with people? Because at the end of the day, that is what networking is. That is what you have to take initiative, and you have to go for it. And I'm a firm believer that if you truly want something, you make it happen. And if you don't, then you don't. That's okay.
Those were just out those when we're trying to make sure we're not gaslighting ourselves, because you start to think, oh, maybe they don't have queer couples because they don't exist. They do. They do. And that's that on that.
And then just before, like, also we move on and people feel like, oh, we're just bashing Defining. We're really not, and bashing's not even the word. It's just holding people accountable and starting the conversation.
And just pointing out something we've been thinking about.
Which we really think is true. And another channel that I told Gugu about, where I said, no, but we could even talk about them, is a channel by Tato Rambedi, right?
And he's starting
the segment Looking for Mjolo. The first 4-5 episodes, season one went on, and it was just heterosexuals, right? Which I understood. I was like, okay, maybe COVID, maybe those are the only people he knows.
Also with Looking for Mjolo, I think it was he took a couple of his friends including his brother, and then he found because I'm guessing his friends and brother are heterosexual, and then he found women that they could speed date with. So that makes sense. But that also, even with Looking for Mjolo, it's still starting out, so I'm like, okay, that's fine, that's okay.
We see you.
But it cannot go on for years, and I still only see heterosexual. Because are you looking for Mjolo, or are you looking for heterosexual Mjolo?
Yes, because if you're looking for heterosexual,
change the name.
Because
even
that thing,
queer people Mjola also.
Looking for just
queer people are also looking for Mjolo. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? The erasure is unacceptable. I'm so sorry to say, but it is unacceptable. And a good example that you came up with, remember the Love Island example? about black people being outraged by Love Island, South Africa.
So then I was telling Gugu that most of the time when I'm trying to like get my point across, I always related to what that person or the experience that person can relate to. And I think the biggest thing here and the most recent thing is when Love Island started.
Love Island South Africa.
Yeah, Love Island South Africa started, and there were no black people. Like literally all of the black people got up and they were appalled.
There was one,
and they were when there was one, and people were like, oh, how can you not have
and that was valid. People were outraged.
Yes, you're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
Where are the black people?
Yes, but no one was like, hi, where are the gays?
Yeah, no, they would never. Like, there's still zero queer representation.
Yes.
But we're fine with that.
We're fine because we're like,
but when there's no black representation, we're outraged, which we should be.
We should be.
But we should also be outraged when a whole range of black people are also excluded, which are queer black people.
Yeah, so
or queer people in general.
Yeah, and I think that's just us kind of just bringing this. And it's not nice. I think people need to. I always try and tell people
it's very triggering.
It's triggering and it's hurtful, you know. And then for you to come and make a video or discuss it with your friends, it's you kind of acknowledging it, and it's a very difficult process to go through because we go through that every day, where we are constantly erased, and then.
Even having to do this video and unpack is also triggering.
Yeah,
you know
and it was scary because we were like, we don't know how people are going to take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we've seen before.
And it also is a big channel that people love. And, you know, understandably. But it's also like, it's important to also point stuff out and call people out, even your favorite people. You should still point them out because there is always areas where they can improve.
Literally everyone.
And
everyone has room for growth.
Okay guys, so to wrap it up, so our final thoughts are that we just feel like what you need to take away from this video is that we are just frustrated and hurt, and we are just calling out our peers and finally saying you need to take accountability for your platform, and you need to stop the erasure of queer people whenever you want to celebrate love or romantic love. And what are your final thoughts?
I think my final thoughts, as always, as we're growing up, holding people accountable as in your specific channels, just use your language to be clear and direct about what your channel is about. That's it.
I think I'm just getting tired. I think tired is the word of like queer erasure. I can't say that enough. It's just in the language, it's in everything I look to. Whenever it talks about romantic love, I already have to mentally prepare that they're not talking about me. Like, I just need to know, move on. They're not talking about you, you know. Or sometimes I consume the content because I'm like, I'm tired. Sometimes you just want to enjoy content and enjoy life. Sometimes I'm just like, oh well, let me just watch this heterosexual content and enjoy and go to bed. You know what I mean? But it's like, I always have to settle. It's either I'm settling or I'm just like, no, not today. Like, I can't watch this. And it's just getting tiring. And it's like, I just want us to start the conversation and just ask heterosexual people why. Like, why? Like, why don't you just be inclusive? Why don't you, when you start your love channel, also interview tons of queer couples? Why not? Like, why? I think that's where I'm at. I'm just at the why.
And I think, like, I always tell my heterosexual couples this, and I always say heterosexual couples don't understand the level of responsibility that they have in the societies that we live in, because it is through their erasure, it is through them being so comfortable in their spaces that life happens outside. People die, people get, you know,
it's
mental.
like what you do with your privilege is so important.
It's so important, you know what I mean? And because you guys are heterosexual in how society has always been the family structure, the family unit, what you guys do does affect how as society we integrate. And that's why this is so hurtful, and that's why it's a conversation that needs to happen, because when our peers who are in our 20s are already erasing us, how are we going to live for the next 30-40 years? How? When you're already erasing me at a time when it is at least highly
our
acceptable.
Most progressive time.
Yes, our most progressive
you think
time.
Your 20s are your most progressive
literally
years.
So when now people who are in their 20s are already not not accepting us. I don't know what's gonna happen when we're 30. I don't know what's gonna happen when we're 40.
Yeah.
That's I think my issue. You need to recognize. And that's that. Recognize your responsibility. 100K subscribers doesn't just come with you. No, there's something that happens because what you put out there,
people are listening, people are watching.
Exactly.
That's what 190,000 subscribers
that's
need.
what happens.
People are watching, people are learning from you. You are a big part of the representation that exists on YouTube.
Literally.
You know? Okay guys, that is the end of our video. So please let us know your thoughts. Please start the conversation down below in the comments. We'll be there responding. This is such an important conversation to have. Please let us know what you think, how you feel. We are very interested to know. And yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for supporting our channel and for watching our videos and for engaging with us. See you guys in our next video. Bye.